Oh boy, how are ya? Welcome back. Another episode of the Josh Potter Show, ready and raring for you. I got some things up at thejoshpotter.com. Places you can see me live, the most pressing being March 27th, going to be in old San Diego, one of my favorite cities in America. I'm going to be at the American Comedy Company March 27th. Get your tickets, thejoshpotter.com. And then, guess what? There's a date on there. August 15th and 16th. That's in Janesville, Wisconsin. That's far out there. Agent Roach likes to bookend the year, I guess. But we'll be filling it in. So keep your eyes peeled to thejoshpotter.com, and we will have more dates added very, very soon. Other than that, keep rating, reviewing, subscribing, that whole jazz. If you're new here, thank you. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you here. I appreciate it. Tell your friggin' friends, for Christ's sake. But yeah, can't wait to be on the road. Although, it's actually kind of nice not to have a lot of road dates right now because planes are falling out of the sky, it seems. It's crazy. Every day I wake up, I follow a lot of aviation Instagram accounts because planes fascinate me, and I'm obsessed with like watching them fly. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of obsessed with watching them crash too. But just, a few hours ago, a Delta flight landed on its roof. It's the most surreal looking footage I've ever seen. These people getting out of a plane upside down. And I think about some of these people that get onto planes. I mean, nobody seemingly as of at the moment, nobody has passed away from this. A couple of injuries here and there. But I think about every time I board a plane, you see these people, they got up they got like 9 people on wheelchairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people were upside down, and then just like, they just unbuckle the old lady and she falls to the floor. I mean, I want to see more footage of them getting out of that thing. Because everybody that I saw getting out of there is pretty able-bodied and seemingly young. I mean, it was a smaller plane. I'm not sure what the model was exactly, but I mean, there's got to be footage of this thing. It hasn't come out quite yet. Only footage is people escaping the fuselage at the moment, and then like going like, holy shit, I was in that plane. You know what I mean? That's like the only thing that we've seen so far. We don't need to see Kevin Clancy talk about it.
He's always on top of it.
I love Kevin, but I don't care about it.
He has the footage of the people getting out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's in my Instagram story too. It's on my Twitter. Excuse me. I just posted a tweet of it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I just think about the people, and then I'm often in an exit row, and I didn't notice in the footage that I saw if the exit row people were in fact doing their job. It looked like it was just a flight attendant or a crew member on board who was helping people get out of the plane. Here you go, right here. Look at that. Can you go back to the beginning? I just want to see the moments he emerges from.
Everything, drop it.
Drop everything. She's trying to get him to be like, don't have your fucking phone on. Don't take a video. Put your phone away. She said that even. Yeah, it's like, get out of the fuselage. How did it not explode? They're out in the snow. Meanwhile, they're like spraying it so it doesn't explode. I'd imagine they're putting out minimal fires or what have you. And the people are getting out of the plane. That would be the worst, to get just blasted with a fire hose as you're getting out into the Arctic thing there. And is there any emergency vehicle that can transport these people to civilization? Where are they going? But how did it not explode? That's something. I mean, I want to watch this thing crash so I can see what the hell happened. My friend texted me. He goes, how the hell does a plane end up on its roof? And I said, well, it's pretty easy. It got squirrely clearly on the landing. And once one of those wings scrapes the ground, it could go all over the place. But look at that. I mean, that's probably the people who design planes are probably like almost patting themselves on the back. They're like, holy hell, look at that thing. Can you believe it? It's like in Apollo 13 when the LEM is used to like do a burn or whatever the hell they're doing. And then he's like, how about that LEM? But he has the whole time, he's like, I don't think it can do that. That's what I imagine if you built these planes. You're like, oh my God, it worked.
Nobody died.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand how it didn't explode. There's no footage of it crashing yet. Otherwise, that'd be all over the place. That'll come out tomorrow. It'll be like security footage it'll be some grainy CCTV, what do they call it? Closed circuit television thing where it'll be like way up in the corner and you'll only see it like real fast.
Like the footage of that one coming down in Philly. They were all just like in the corner.
There was a lot of those. That one happened in a neighborhood. So we got like ring cameras. We got like, people that were, or security footage from like Burger King or something. Some of those videos were really good. There was a dash cam.
How crazy was that one though? That one just fell straight down.
Yeah, I didn't find out what the hell happened with that one because with that one it was a very small, like Cessna, I believe, and it literally nose dived into the ground like right after take. That was like minutes after takeoff.
It was in the air for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. So that was just quick up and down. But yeah, I mean, I have, you start to speculate and you run through scenarios in your mind and it's like, did he know he lost it? Because when you're doing it on takeoff too, you are at an angle. You're not going straight up or straight down. But did he know he lost that plane because that thing just went straight to the ground, like you said? And I feel like I've heard this before. Like if you're in that situation, you probably want to just like nosedive it. Otherwise, he would have taken out like 3 blocks. Do you know what I mean? Like if he was going
skidded along
like that.
Yeah.
So this one, I mean, this is like a regional jet. I mean, this is not a Cessna. This is like, I bet you this is one of the things. I mean, does it say what kind of plane it is? A Delta flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. I can't believe I'm reading that right now. Crashed and flipped over while landing. But does it say the model of plane? How does it not say that? Anywhere on there. Interesting.
I will find it.
Because, I mean, it could very well be the same model plane that collided with the Black Hawk helicopter because it looks like it's of the similar size to that. The CRN 550 or whatever the fuck, CRJ, I don't know. Either way, wild footage out of Toronto Airport.
CRJ 900.
Oh, so it's a little bit bigger than the one that got hit by the helicopter. God, upside down. That's why you wear your seatbelt, folks. And if you wear it like me, that would have been I would have probably got hurt because I get on the plane and I go as loose as it can get and it's just flop there, Yeah,
you just show buckle.
Even sometimes in a turbulence. I had one time I was flying to Phoenix and on the way to Phoenix, this is back in Xanax days for me. And I would take the flight to Phoenix from Los Angeles, they might as well throw you. It's not that far. The fact that I was blasting a Xanax to get to Phoenix, it's like riding a bus or something. But I'm like in an aisle seat in this instance because I didn't book this flight, and I'm sitting there and I'm Xanaxed, and all of a sudden, dude, the plane, it felt like it was just dropping out of the sky. Like there was a loud boom and it went down, and the woman next to me screamed. And I don't know what came over me in that moment. I was like, it's okay. Like, I actually, like, comforted this middle-aged black woman. She was all like, it was black when she was screaming. But, I mean, I was like, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know why I said that. The drink cart hit the ceiling of the plane. And so that happened. It was quick, and then it just stopped. It was like it recovered, And the pilot gets on and goes, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, about that. We'll be safe landing here. Just if you see emergency vehicles, there's no emergency. It's just a precautionary thing. And I'm like, what the happened to this plane? What happened, evidently, because then I'm getting off the plane right after it's done, and they still haven't said anything, and I'm wondering if they even would, and if I should ask, or if they even know, And I'm walking out of the plane to the jet bridge, and they have a door open, and I look out through the cockpit, and there is a massive hole, like a cannonball went through the windshield of the plane, which is crazy. And what happened, I guess, I found out from another guy when we got off, a bird hit it on its approach.
Wow.
So the pilot was probably like, well, the thing blasted open, and the pilot imagine the wind. They have to put on like fighter jet shit. You know what I mean? They have to put on I don't know if they have helmets back there or something, but I know they have the fucking like the fucking Top Gun mask where they're like, goose. So I'm sure it dropped because the pilot was like, oh shit, and he probably
He's got a just disintegrated bird in his lap too.
Oh, and the glass.
Yeah,
there was glass on the. I doubt I'd imagine, but there was still glass in parts of it. But, yeah. No, also, you got to not get sucked out. Although I'd imagine if it's that window in the front of the plane, the wind's coming so violently at you that there's no sucked out. You're maybe this against the, and maybe that was it too. It just moved the fucking controls or something. I don't fucking know. It was a pretty harrowing experience, but is that what they have? They have one of those sitting in there?
This guy's got a bird. That's a bird in this guy's windshield right here.
Oh, I see. But yeah, no, it was a truly afterwards you go how close did I get to dying just then? But no. So I had my seatbelt, by the way. That was the whole point of the story. I had my seatbelt just as loose as it could go. And when we dropped, I was asleep, and I woke up as I was lifting from my chair. And my seatbelt did pull me in, but then I came back. You know what I mean? It was a pretty good amount of space between my ass and the seat.
You were free fall. You were anti-gravity.
Because but it showed me. I go, oh, that's why they make you wear the seatbelts during turbulence. Because I'm always it's like Fight Club. I'm like, what do we really need the seatbelts for? Even though I'm just all of it Fight Club. I have to put my tray table up. Why?
So you don't bust your teeth out on it?
Yeah, because it's rattling around while you're fucking landing and shit. And for instances like this, when you get flipped upside down, I'm sure there were some people who didn't have their fucking tray table properly secured, and it was you know what I mean? Insane to think that you'd be upside down in a fucking plane. I would be anxious and terrified about it exploding. That's the thing that just really haunts me. Once I got out of the plane, I would run as far away from it as I possibly could. That thing I would be it's gonna explode. It didn't explode is so crazy, dude.
That is the one emergency vehicle you see is them spraying the bottom of it.
Well, yeah. I thought about this. Maybe it flipping over was actually a blessing, because usually I'm sure what occurs other than impact and jet fuel just going and all it takes is a spark to light jet fuel and make it explode. Perhaps it landing on its roof made it so that the fuel was not exposed to any friction or fire, for that matter, minimally, if anything. That's why they're spraying it. But maybe because of where the fuel is, it being upside down is a good thing.
Yeah, landing gear was out, so they were on landing.
No, they landed.
Oh, they landed and then they flipped.
Yes, but it says crash landed. Now, I don't know if that's poor terminology from the news, because crash landing meaning it landed and then crashed as it was, or was it we're coming in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sully Sullenberger on the ice in the fucking Toronto airport. I don't know. It doesn't really state or speculate to that regard. But let's get into some more or less morbid news. Let's talk about Justin Tucker again. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by Lucy. And Lucy Breakers are the nicotine pouches with that little extra surprise. Oh, my Lord. I've been not only using them on stage, but we were talking about flying earlier. And boy, I just pop, especially if it's a nice short little flight. I can pop one of those in, and it's so relieving because, you know, as a guy who smokes cigarettes on occasion, you can't smoke cigarettes for like a whole day when you're going on an airplane. So thank the Lord for the Lucy pouches getting me through flights. Each pouch holds a capsule that can be broken open to release extra flavor, by the way, and hydration. Set yourself up with a subscription and have Lucy delivered straight to your door. No more going to the convenience store that's not even that convenient, hiking down the street, going to the bodega, whatever the heck you got to do. It's over. Now it's coming straight to your door with a subscription. I personally enjoy all the apple flavor. I mean, they've got apple cider. They've got apple ice. I don't know which one I like better, but I'm going hard on those ones at the moment. And I got to go. I've gone down to the smaller milligrams or whatever they call it. Not milligrams, or the smaller unit. You know, you got 4s, you got 8s, you got 12s. If you're hardcore, you go 12 for sure. I went 8, a little still too hardcore for me. Now I'm a 4 guy and I'm easy breezy chilling. I throw them in all the time, baby. So level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/Potter. Use the promo code Potter and get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co. Use code Potter. You're going to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Beep, 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 beep. Beep 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 beep.
And I'm not going to dwell on this. We talked about Justin Tucker at length just but 2 weeks ago. And I just wanted to bring up the fact, and I know I got many submissions at JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. 7 more accuse Ravens Justin Tucker of sexual misconduct. And we all know what happened last time. I don't need to rehash it for you. If you want, go back and watch my magnum opus on Justin Tucker. I mean, we talked about it at great length. And maybe some of these things are going to sound repetitive, but this seems like, you know, more came out and they were like, oh, like it's like they heard the stories that we told about the, you know, the ejaculate on the table and various other things. And other women were like, wait a minute, I remember a guy who came on the table. Was that Justin Tucker? They don't realize, even though he's wearing full uniform every time, evidently, he goes into a fucking massage. 16 total therapists now from 8 spas have these inappropriate allegations. Now, I don't know if this is, I think this is a new incident, alleged, that he left ejaculate on the table, and another one said he made intense eye contact throughout the massage while exposed. These are the latest allegations. So this means in addition to the previous, so this guy is just jizzing out and making eye contact. I don't know what's more egregious, the intense eye contact or the jizzing on the table. I mean, look at those eyes too. Just dead doll's eyes. Can you imagine that guy just staring at you? Like you're a 60-yard kick and he's trying to get it right down the middle, and he's going to blast his fucking load right on the table. We still got to get splatter details. They don't have anything quite like that. In response to the new accusations, Tucker's lawyers told the Banner, that's the publication that has these things inside of it, to refer to the Kicker social media post from back on January 30th. So they're just they're not putting out news statements every time new women come out, evidently. They're like, same thing. Go back to that. It's desperate tabloid fodder is what he said. Last week, Tucker's lawyers provided a sworn declaration from the owner of the Baltimore Spa and Salon saying she never received complaints about him or suspected he engaged in any misconduct. Imagine being the owner of the place and like having to do like, I mean, I never heard anything. And the employees are like, we did. We told you. I mean, that's got to be nuts. I mean, I don't know. There's so many of them who that part is going to become a sticky wicket. So that was Justin Tucker's lawyers doing some good work, but like, why? I mean, they don't necessarily, if I'm these women, I'm not like going to my owner about it. I'd go to maybe it's like a few good men situation. You know what I mean? Like, I went to my superior officer and they didn't take it up the ladder. The chain of command, if you will, fell apart. You can't handle the cum. Tucker's lawyers said Tucker had never been banned from the two spas. They also denied allegations of inappropriate behavior, telling the Banner that it's speculative and impossible to prove. We already went through that last week when he brought that up, and the woman was like, I know what cum is. I have seen cum many, many times. So, yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on this because he's got even more accusations going on. I think even more depressing than if you're in Justin Tucker's life at the moment and having to deal with this. The guy's going to kick, by the way, for the USFL next year. There's no chance he comes back to the NFL. He's washed, and now he's got this on his head. And you think a kicker who needs to be, like, precise, he can't be, like, fucked up. You know what I mean? He's going to be, you know, it's going to be to the right, to the left, but he'll be, if anything, he'll go to, like, the USFL. Or like one of these teams that loves criminals, they'll pick him up. I don't know, the Browns. Could kick for the Browns next season. Him and Deshaun Watson, the Massage Boys. Who the hell knows? But T-Bone sent this in too, and we talked a little bit about the Super Bowl last week, but this came out later, a few days later. It's the Chiefs' Super Bowl after party. There's a video from it, and obviously, you can imagine, it's pretty sad. Let's look at it. So this guy got asked to play last minute Chiefs at last minute, by the way. Can you pause this video? Why are they holding an after party? If I lost the Super Bowl, we're not having a fucking party.
Can I say that Dylan Francis is a pretty good follow?
He's a DJ,
He's
right?
the DJ. He's pretty funny. He like pulls pranks on stage. He's a decent DJ.
Well, I mean, so he's a celebrity. I figured he was like a famous something or other if he's getting asked to perform at the Super Bowl for one of the NFL teams. But why the fuck are you having or holding a party, especially last minute? So it's like, well, we lost. I guess we'll have a party. Nobody went to it, obviously. I don't think a single player. If I'm a player and I show up to the after party, it's bad. I mean, that's not like a good look in any way. You're just the one guy who's there who's like, well, we'll get him next year, you know? And you're just hanging out.
I mean, unless you're kind of drinking off the blues, you know? It's like...
Yeah, but this isn't the vibe for that. You don't have a DJ to go to. You go to a dive bar. If they pulled up to like a dive bar and we're just like me, like at a bar, we're just like, do a lot of this.
Yeah, it just.
And then the people go like, you all right? And you go, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, just pretending to watch the TV.
1,000-yard stare. That's the whole point about putting a TV at a bar. It could be nonsense on there. That's why they could play horse shit. They can play whatever the hell they want, and you just sit there and you're like this. You're not really watching the TV. You're thinking about every decision you've ever made. You're just doing that. You're just like gone. And then someone has to be like, hey, oh, hey. And you're like, oh. Or you run out and you go, hey. I don't do that to bartenders. I don't go, unless I know them. And I go, hey. Anyhow, today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by Home Chef. So many meal kits claim to be simple and easy to use, and then they show up with recipes you can barely understand and aren't worth the effort. I mean, some of them I go, oh, if I wanted to cook this, I would have just done it on my own. I mean, the way that it's like, gotta chop up this and gotta do this or that. Home Chef knows that struggle, and that's why they deliver fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. Oh, that makes it so, that puts some leaps and bounds above the rest for me, because that is the whole point of the meal kit. If I wanted to be a chef, I would have gone to culinary school. Thank you, Home Chef, for being the chef for me. It's no surprise that users of the leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners, the Roaches here, 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. Can you believe that? And of course, free shipping on your first box. So go to homechef.com/Potter. That's homechef.com/Potter, and you're going to get 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/Potter. Must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Travis Kelce once yelled in celebration, quoting the Beastie Boys, you got to fight for your right to party. Well, it turns out when you lose 40-22 in the Super Bowl and don't really put up much of a fight, you're not going to have much of a party. Here are some of the videos that emerged. This is from the DJ. Do we have other videos from this too? Or is it all the DJ? No, I mean, I just didn't know if this article,
the article was just about this DJ.
Right. So, DJ Dylan Francis provided the saddest look behind the curtain while he performed in front of an empty crowd. Let's see. So now this poor guy has got to fucking.
How are you? Dude, I haven't been.
Said preparing for 11,000 people.
Oh, so they had this plan just in case.
Yeah.
They won. But then, yeah.
And then it's probably in his contract, it's like, you can't cancel me. I got to get paid.
Well, I mean, yeah, they could pay him and not have the dignity of paying the guy and not having the parties. Fine. Just be like, yeah, we're going to cancel the party. We'll send the check still.
Yeah.
I mean, have some wherewithal. But then again, people travel, maybe the families, but no one's going to this kind of like, If anything, you're drinking in your hotel room. All right, let's watch. And he's looking outside. No one's coming.
And then this is the party. Four claps.
Woof. I mean, that's tough. And it sucks that he has to kind of like live the Chiefs basically by doing, obviously, here's the thing. If that was like a stand-up show, that would have been a nightmare. Do you know what I mean? That would have been the most epic nightmare. You're like, oh my God, this is going to be packed. It'd be like doing a theater and then having like 3 people there and you're like, we're still doing the show? That would be that is a nightmare. That is a nightmare you have every couple of days probably as a comedian. But this guy's just like DJing.
He was
sure, you need to get it hyped up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, he can still just do his whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've watched many DJs at afters parties and things like that where no one's even paying attention. People are just talking. They couldn't be further away from the DJ, as a matter of fact. And they're still up there having their fun. They're doing their mixes or whatever the hell else. So I think if you're going to do anything to an empty room, DJing's probably the best one, at the end of the day. But let's get into some.
Oh, there are other parties.
Oh, there are? Is that? Yeah. Because it said here, wait, I wanted to read this part too.
So
did Shabuzi come to this to perform? Because that's funnier.
So Dylan Francis detailed out how he got asked last minute to play for 11,000 people. So Dylan Francis, that one that we were just looking at, that was not a contract thing. That was they were convinced, up until probably kickoff that they were going to win, and he got asked to play the after party, and he was to prepare for 11,000 people.
It says here other performers included MGK, that's Machine Gun Kelly for all you people who are
Shabuzi
like
at
me
the.
and had to look that up.
This is the this is a post game party, but it looks like there are people there.
I mean, you can play this on mute, right? Or is this not a video? Yeah, because he played his Everybody, the only song Shabuzi will ever have. I mean, did that song come out in like 2019? I feel like it's been out for fucking ever, and I'm so fucking. It's like, aren't we done with this Shabuzi song? Everybody let the be deep deep deep. Right? Isn't that the one?
Oh, is that him?
How does it go? I wish I could fucking hear it because it is. Oh Lord, dooba dabba dooba deeba dooba deep doop. And everyone's like, yeah, whatever. I get that. That's the only song that guy's ever going to have. He's the Gautier of whatever the black country music that's all the popular rage right now. He's not going to, I mean, if he has another song, I want you to mark it down right now. If Shabuzi ever has another song, I'll eat my fucking hat. All right? I mean, let's face it. And don't get any ideas if he gets one that charts like low. I'm talking about another hit. He's done.
All right, here's Shabuzi at the Chiefs.
All right.
We'll play it for a second. Maybe we'll have to cut this.
Yeah, just mute it if you have to. Oh. Hey, I wonder what song he's going to sing. All right. I wonder what song we'll hear from Shabuzi.
Yeah, it's that. But there's people there. He's playing for people.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know where Dylan Francis got booked.
Why don't they just, I mean, he probably did like the pre-thing, but like, here's the thing. Like, at that point, you just go, it's not a Chiefs party anymore. Why don't we just tell everyone Shabuzi's playing? What if they did that and this is still all they got? Guys, we got Shabuzi playing. They're like, oh, I'd rather go to a Chiefs after party than watch Shabuzi. Anyhow, let's get into some news. So I got a couple emails about the guy that we talked about last week on the program. It was about the horse fucking story. And we watched a very animated sheriff describe what had happened. He had like literature in front of it. The guy was almost too good. And then I speculated and we thought he was like a member of the TMZ crew. So they're like, oh, let's hire this cheeky guy to wear a sheriff thing and do this little bit desk piece or whatever. So then I thought it's a work. But many of you emailed in to JoshPotterShow@gmail.com regarding this guy. You knew him better than me, and that's why you exist out there. I don't know anything. I feel like every couple of months I have to remind you. I don't know anything. I'm not smart, nor am I well-read. I am simply here to learn with you. And so you get to teach me things. People who think I'm talking of any sort of, from any standpoint of authority, I mean, you got to remember where the hell you are. Anywho, email from Sam in Tampa, Florida. It says, in the horse fucking story, I like that it's just called that, the horse fucking story. In the horse fucking story, that cop is Sheriff Grady Judd of Polk County. This is what he does. He's not a TMZ specific cop. We see him doing this almost daily on the local news. We got to monitor this local news, folks. We got to be on this. This is definitely one. Put it on your radar. Look him up, and you'll get hours of material from him. He makes fun of and calls criminals all kinds of funny shit. I love you, man. By the way, I also hate eating and birds. You're the best, man. Have a great one. Yeah, birds suck, dude. Fuck birds, dude. That one almost tried to kill me. We talked about it earlier. I didn't even put two and two together. A bird out to get me. Anywho, this is another email that I got. Hey there, Josh, longtime listener, first time writing in. Been here since the Roach Motel days, but the sheriff that you talked about last week's episode, the one talking about the man sexually assaulting a horse, he did it cleaner there. He didn't want to write horse fucking in his email. That is not a TMZ reporter or someone they hired. That's Sheriff Grady Judd. So now we know this guy from Polk County, Florida. He is a no-nonsense type of guy who sounds like he's a lot of nonsense. I mean, he's calling people names and stuff. But this man, Brandon, who sent this email in, he provided a link to some Sheriff Judd.
It's a compilation.
Okay, good. I like this. Let's go through it a little bit. I mean, it is long. We won't go through the whole thing, but maybe we will. Maybe it's going to be that good. Let's see.
So just chill out. Drink a 7-Up. Eat a moon pie. Quit murdering people.
See, I would like, other than a compilation, this will give us a taste of what we're dealing with, but I would like to know the context of these, because I could sit here and play a compilation.
Idiot woman! Can't abide. I don't care about that. Not a fig.
Compilation of John Otto right there, but without the full scale of knowing what it is, like we did in the beginning, it loses some of its je ne sais quoi.
The reason we didn't arrest Eric is because he's dead. We thought it'd be a waste of time just between you and me.
These are just all this guy is a TikTok star. How is he still the county sheriff and not doing brand deals at this point? I mean, we don't have to, I don't really want to see a compilation of TikToks, to be quite honest. Right, I'm happy that
I'll look them up.
Yeah. Let's see like one wild video instead. But I do like getting a taste. And the reason I say that is because I also want to do a little more digging on this guy. Like, this guy must have a man, like, is he one of these people? Is he like Nancy Pelosi, where it's like you make $200,000 a year, but you're worth $15 million? Like, am I going to find that out?
So this is a press conference.
Wow, that's more than usual.
The governor would be disappointed.
We're in for a show today.
The governor would be disappointed if I didn't have my cards. Do you know?
Step up and hold those for you while you're doing it.
Yes.
What is this? The Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary? I mean, what? All these fucking guys are, I mean, that's the thing. What happens when you lead from the front. And this guy's acting like a fucking... So now he's got all his sidekicks over here. You think they have to audition? It's like Lorne Michaels. He sits there. He's like, okay, Sheriff Grady's not going to laugh, but bring your best stuff out here. And then they don't get it based off their merit. They get it off if they're hilarious or not. I like this guy. All right, go ahead.
Our criminal justice system holds them accountable, and the federal government lets them into your neighborhood to rob and pillage and steal and rape and murder.
Jesus.
Our governor is a leader. He's saying, look, the people of the state of Florida, the people of the United States of America elected Donald Trump because Donald Trump said he was going to fix this illegal immigration issue, and our top priority is the illegal immigrants in this country that are committing crime. So I want to give you just a quick snapshot of why our governor is saying...
Get to the fucking point. All right, illegal immigrants, we get it. Now come on, where's the funny, dude?
Florida needs to set the example for the other states to support the president to get rid of these criminals who are victimizing our people. How about Edie Grandos? He's not only here illegally, he killed a 21-year-old. He was leaving the scene of a crash, no driver's license, in Homeland, Florida. Think about that for a minute.
Pause it. If this guy's going to get yucks out of me in a second, he's really digging a deep hole. You can't really be like, this guy murdered a 21-year-old. I thought for sure he was going to follow it up with like some zing about the guy or whatever.
I think he's trying to make a point in this one. He's being all Trumpy. Here, this one might be a little more quippy.
Oh, yeah, no, because he's doing his morning briefing.
I hope you have your very favorite coffee, because it's time for morning briefing. Now, C&K works on anything diesel. That's right, brothers. They own the business. They're doing real well. Look at this cup. They said, you need a man-sized cup, and C&K sent it to me.
Oh, my God, he's doing brand deals? Okay, stop it. That's it. That's my nightmare right there. Can we just see how many followers this guy has? He's doing commercials. He's doing ads. I'm about to do one in a second. But he's
180K.
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 That's pretty good. He could headline theaters. Yeah. You can at least get a weekend at the Albany Funny Bone with 180K followers. So, yeah, he's doing brand deals. It's gross, dude. It just makes me more sad about social media. I don't know what the hell. You don't even, now it's just the most famous people shouldn't be, he should be famous for being like a good sheriff. You know what I mean? Instead, he's like, no, this guy says funny things. Oh my God.
I don't know how funny. I think it's more racist.
Oh, it's why. Well, yeah. This guy says wild shit. Let's reward him. Anyway, we're talking about how birds tried to kill me today and how much I hate them. This woman, this was sent in from Daniel Bowers, JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. This woman was simultaneously attacked by not only a bird, a hawk, but also a snake. Let's find out how it happened. We have a fun local story.
And tonight, a story of survival you've really got to see to believe. A Texas woman says a snake fell from the sky, wrapped around her arm, and then tried biting her face. But that's not all. All of this is happening while a hawk swooped down and then tried grabbing the snake off of her arm. Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf meeting with that woman here tonight who says she is just thankful to be alive.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
Now this is when I really want a ring cam footage. Oh my God. That is insane that a hawk, evidently, what they'll deduce, I'm sure, by the end of this, the hawk was like carrying the snake, right? And the snake's probably all like, and freaking out and shit and biting the hawk. And then the hawk's like, and then dropped it. And then it lands on the woman like Jake the Snake style. And then it's freaking out probably still. And it's like, and she's like, imagine a fucking dude. That would, and then the hawk's like, I still want to eat that thing. So he goes down and gets, and then he's, fighting the woman. God, wouldn't that be a great, this woman would just be like, on the fucking lawn. Oh God, what a sick ring cam footage. Please let them have some.
I do this as therapy to kind of helped me realize that this probably is never going to happen again.
A rare simultaneous snake and hawk attack cutting a Texas woman deep.
Oh my
looking up now?
Oh, yeah, I'm constantly looking up.
Her arm now wrapped in healing, but emotionally, it's tough.
The nightmares are horrific. They're terrible.
Out in Silsbee, Texas, Peggy Jones had been mowing the lawn.
Imagine,
I was just riding along.
Imagine having this happen to you, and you just go to sleep at night, and you just feel the snake fall on you every night.
Dude, I'm terrified of snakes. Like, this would not be all right. Falling out of the sky.
Oh my God. And people already think this woman just looks like she already thinks the world has gone to hell in a handbasket and the rapture is on its way. And then that moment, she probably even had a larger fear than just the snake. She just thought, God is smiting us. This is the end times. They said it would happen. We didn't get President Trump in soon enough. And now snakes are falling from the sky. I want to hear the recap of the story. Keep it going.
I do my own business.
Out of the blue sky, a snake fell onto her arm.
Your instincts are just to sling it off. Then instead of slinging it off, he wrapped around my arm. Just wrapped around it. As I'm slinging, he's striking and striking. He's striking my glasses.
The snake over and over again, lunging towards Peggy's face.
And all you could see was this. It looked like a big wide mouth coming at your face.
After 4 tries,
what
a
kind
hawk
of snake
then
was it?
ripping the snake away.
The hawk, I mean, his wings are just flapping, and, you know, I can feel the wings on me. I don't really know. I can't say I know how it feels to die because I'm still alive, but I really think that I got really close.
She wasn't speaking English. She was hysterical.
Peggy's husband, Wendell, also outside, running over to help.
The first words I heard was, "Snake fell out of the air." So I'm thinking, yes, you are hysterical.
I told him, I said, a snake.
Thank God the husband saw some of this, I guess, and ran over, because this woman would never, no one would believe this. The news would be like, yeah, okay, lady, yeah, snakes are falling out of the sky. Oh, and a bird came? Yeah, okay. Like, it's one of those ones they just kind of like throw away. They write off, oh, we got another report of one of those, you know? Oh, clowns are robbing the convenience store? Okay, yeah, sure. All right, we'll be right there. One of those kinds of things. Thank God someone saw it, because no one would ever believe this woman. And then she would be painted as the town Looney Tune. You know what I mean? Real dodo bird.
It just fell out of the air. He said, a snake did this to you. I said, no, it was a snake. And then the snake was trying to bite me on my face.
She was just screaming and crying and trying to talk, but I just couldn't understand anything she said.
I said, the hawk came down and he got the snake. He tried to get the snake, and he scratched all over my arms, and his talons were going into my arms, and my arms are tore up.
I took that Dodge truck Hemi, and I'm not going to tell you how fast I went through town, but we was flying.
Peggy now looking up.
It sounds like a little kid telling a story, though, at the end of the day. Like, now that I heard that she was recounting it to her husband, I'm like, oh, so no one did see it. And the way it's like, what happened to your arm? And she's like, well, then there was a snake, and it fell from the sky, and then there was a hawk, and then it came down, and then the hawk and the snake were fighting, and then the snake lunged at my face. I mean, I would be like, all right. Like, if it was my niece or nephew, I would be like, yeah, okay. Good story.
Yeah.
I would never believe this woman.
You don't even understand half the words. You're like, oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh Jesus, all right. Yep. Okay, we'll rub it off.
Thanking her lucky stars, she survived simultaneous attacks. I think you need a lottery ticket.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yes.
Torn apart but alive with a new look on life.
In the blink of an eye and the snap of a finger, your life can change. And you don't know if it's going to be a hawk and a snake or a car wreck or whatever. I just love everybody and everything more. Even when I eat a piece of chocolate, it tastes so much better now.
Oh my God, dude. I don't know. Now I'm starting to be like, I think she just got her fucking arm caught in the weed whacker and she doesn't want to admit it. She's like, oh, the hawk came down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now she's on the news. I don't know, dude.
And she's got that stuffed snake being like,
this is my therapy snake. Now this is the most interesting thing that's ever happened to this woman. Now she gets, you think she's ever going to shut the fuck up about this story? She's going to be at every little family get together like, oh, get to hear about the fucking hawk and the snake again. Aunt Carol's coming, so get ready. I bet you she'll compare it to the hawk and the snake story. Oh, we know the potato salad's great. Every bite of the potato salad you savor because of the hawk and the fucking snake. This one's crazy because it has video and it's another animal attack. This is a real Brian Fellows episode of the Josh Potter Show today. This was from Lucas from Colorado, sent this in. A humpback whale, which are huge, evidently, briefly swallowed a kayaker off the Chilean Patagonia before quickly releasing him unharmed. And this incident was caught on camera. I don't know if you've seen this video, but check it out. There he is. Whoa. I mean, that's kind of wild.
Yo pensé que me había comido ya y que me había tragado, pero claro, yo sentía que quizás era una orca. Habíamos estado hablando de orcas poco antes, entonces tenía eso en la cabeza. Pero ya cuando salí entendí que claro, probablemente era por curiosidad.
I mean, it's 2025. Does this guy, just because he's from Chile, does he have to dress like that? Is that like Chilean law? Look at this. He's got like a this is like a stereotype to me. Yeah. I feel like I'm watching like an old racist movie. But if you were just listening at home, he got, it shows the guy, which I don't know. I mean, maybe they were videoing much longer, or this guy has a GoPro or something on the front of his kayak, but he's got his buddy out there ahead of him.
So the story is, sorry.
No, you got it.
Yeah. So the story is it's he was with his dad and they were filming this trip and they ended up a little farther offshore than they were planning and the weather started to turn. And I think that they was just running the GoPro in general.
Right.
And
it's like a dash cam footage.
Yeah, but it was him and his dad.
Okay.
Out on this trip.
So the guy's out there and he's getting videoed, and then all of a sudden the whale puts him in his mouth. It just eats him. And I feel like the whale was like, you hear about them thinking they're seals or something, I guess. I don't know, manatees or some shit. I don't know what the hell those whales eat. But evidently he got that Chilean guy in his mouth and he was like, ugh. And he spit him right out. And then he floats to the surface.
This one might be in English. He's in his mouth.
He's eaten up. And then the whale's like, ugh. He basically gets puked out.
Tranquilo, agarra el bote, agárralo, tranquilo, agárralo. Agárralo, agárralo. Sí, yo pensé que me había comido ya y que me había tragado.
No such luck. But at least the subtitles are in English. I mean, this guy basically is Pinocchio. I mean, he went inside there and came out. He saw the inside of the mouth. Obviously, does a whale chew? That's the thing. Like, obviously, the whale got that in its mouth, and it was like, "This is gross," and it spit it back out, or he realized he made a terrible mistake. Whales probably do that all the time, especially the dumb ones. They're probably like eating all kinds of garbage out there. Talking about microplastics.
Humpback whales have baleen, and they eat like krill. They eat like really small.
Is that just like junk?
It's like they have
like a mass of tiny fish.
Yeah. They eat like a lot of like really small, like microscopic almost fish, and their teeth actually cover the whole front of their whole mouth, and so they just are straining the ocean when they eat.
God, so this guy the fact that he didn't get shredded up is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so they don't really chew. They just kind of open their mouth and like take what's coming in and then filter the water out. And so this type of whale doesn't have teeth. They have what's called baleen.
I get you. So I mean, this guy still was in. I mean, I want to hear. I wish I knew he could describe what the mouth was like. He's like, oh man, that mouth. What that mouth do?
He does compare himself to Pinocchio.
That's funny. I mean, of course, you get inside this whale's. What if he's in? I mean, he's gonna get swallowed whole. I wonder what they could swallow in terms of like large, because like you said, they eat these teensy little fish and they filter the water out. So obviously he's just too big to get swallowed by them. You know what I mean? It's better coming out the front than out the back, though. That's what I say. So he got very lucky. That's just wild footage.
So he says, yes, at first I thought I had died. It was like, of course, a lot of terror. Because I thought, no, there was nothing I could do. And then I got out and I started floating there. And then he was really afraid that the whale was going to come back. And that he would get hypothermia.
I mean, It's kind of funny that you're reading this and the people that are just listening at home, they could be like, wow, Lee really like knows Spanish. That's crazy. He like translated that pretty perfectly. Imagine if there's somebody that does speak fluent Spanish listening out there right now. They're like, oh my God, just fucking play it already. They're like losing their fucking minds. Anywho, that's wild footage. Let's get to something that's more fun. An Ohio police officer has filed a bombshell lawsuit against the Portage County Sheriff's Office alleging a chilling abuse of power. This is from T-Bone, who sent this in, JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. Officer Miranda L. Brothers, 29, with the Montour Police Department, claims that she was wrongfully arrested and her 5-year-old son was placed in foster care while private, explicit photos from her phone were taken and passed around the sheriff's office. The woman, a single mother, is now suing the sheriff's office for over $150 in punitive damages. And so this is the woman that's got the photos?
Yes.
Wowzers. She's a cop too. She's with the office. So that's why I was confused for a second. Brothers also claims that there is a complete lack of evidence to support the allegations against her. According to the suit, the nightmare began late in 2023 when detectives launched a covert investigation into her parenting. The probe focused on unsubstantiated claims that she had left her son alone with a registered sex offender. So they're doing some inside investigation. They're like, oh, we got a rotten apple in our mix here. So they're trying to do surveillance and things like that. Surveillance by 2 detectives on December 7th of 2023 reportedly revealed no such contact, and the third detective's earlier findings corroborated that allegations were unfounded and inaccurate. But less than a month later, on January 1st, New Year's Day of 2024, sheriff's deputies conducted a traffic stop, seizing her phone, her child's tablet, and removed her son from her custody. Then she was charged with child endangerment the following day, with authorities alleging that she allowed a sex offender to spend extended periods of time alone with her child. So this is very strange. Such and such, just to like, if they're doing this just to get her nudes, I feel like as a cop, there's easier ways to go about it. You know what I mean? They're like, we got to figure out something where we can seize her phone. I mean, that would be wild to just be like so obsessed with this woman to be like, I got to see her nudes. So I'm going to just conduct this crazy investigation about her. Despite this, prosecutors pressed forward, leaving Brothers suspended from her job and her son in foster care for months. The most incendiary claims in Brothers' suit, however, involve the sheriff's office alleged mishandling of her seized cell phone. The officer accuses a detective identified as John Doe of sharing explicit private photos of her with colleagues and potentially others outside the department. I see. So they're not even, I was going for a whole conspiracy on this one. I was thinking in my head that this sheriff's department, they're like, boy, oh boy, we'd like to see this lady naked. How can we do that? And then they came up with this story, and then all the surveillance and everything. Yeah. You know, they muddied the waters just so they could get her nudes. But no, what they're saying is somebody was like, oh, this lady's cell phone is in evidence. Let's go see what's on this thing. And then they spread it around, passing it around. I mean, golly, if it was the first one, that would be I've never wanted to see a woman naked like that in my life. You know what I mean? Like, there's no woman I've wanted to see naked bad enough where I would go through the lengths of doing. Even the guy that did it at the end, once we've come to find out that it's just some dumb cop in the evidence room that's like, oh shit, we got her nudes. That's still crazy to me. Be like,
you know, there was creepy guys like being like, she shares photos like this, and you know there's some.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's trying to be Sheriff Judd Grady. She's like, I got to get. She's doing TikTok dances. She's got thirst traps on her fucking Instagram. So they're like, oh shit. I mean, she's hands down. I don't have to see the rest of the department to know that she's the hottest one there. You know what I mean? So I guarantee they were like, oh, the hottest lady in our office just got her phone seized, and they're just drooling back there like, I better, they're making little jokes like, I better really investigate the photos on this thing. Just doing a thorough investigation of the photos, the multimedia on the phone. Her attorney, Eric Fink, did not hold back in his condemnation. They went through the phone, found no evidence of wrongdoing, and then shared private, explicit photos entirely unrelated to the investigation. When asked if the photos were explicit, Fink confirmed they were. What are we talking here? The charges against the woman were finally dropped in July of 2024, and she has since returned to duty, but her attorney says the ordeal has left lasting scars. Yeah, I'd imagine. She's just working with a bunch of people who've seen her nudes. Her nudes got leaked. That's like revenge porn. We are still trying to understand why this investigation was even opened. Forget about that. Now you got a real case on your hand. Her complaint goes into some details that describes the emotional toll of her experience together with the humiliation and devastation at losing custody of her son. Yeah, that part sucks, but also now she has to work with a bunch of people who have seen her flicker bean probably in some videos or something. Who knows? I'm speculating on what the multimedia was on the phone. She appears to be a popular member of the Montua Police Department, appearing in several of the department's photos on social media. Yeah, she's the hottest one. They're putting why don't we put the hot chick in the photos for the sheriff's department? I mean,
she seems nice. She seems nice enough.
No, she's fine. She's nice. I'm not saying anything about her. Ladies, this is the thing that scars women from taking nudes, because they think that like it's going to get, leaked out there or revenge porn or something like that. And she had some of that shit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not shitting on her.
No.
She seems nice. I want to have her on the program.
Pleasant.
They still putting her on the social media though. That's what I wonder. Is this going up on it? Are they still like, hey, I know that happened, but could you do a hot photo for Instagram for us? Some goodwill in the neighborhood. This one, Jefferson Nally sent this one in, and he wrote in an email about it, that this isn't such a crazy story, but it's more about the field reporter girl who does the story. She's good looking and hates her job, all that. See, this is what I like, Jefferson Nally. You're getting it. You're getting it. More hot local reporters who hate their job. Love to see it. This is in WMUR in Claremont,
New Hampshire, my neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah.
I trust the school to keep my kids safe, and I don't feel like that's happening.
Carrie Roberts' son is a 7th grade student at Claremont Middle School. She says she has concerns after learning her son's science teacher, 38-year-old Aaron Mullen of Springfield, Vermont, is accused of violating a court order to stay away from another one of her students. Superintendent Chris Pratt said Mullen was fired and sent a letter to parents saying, in part, "At SAU 6, the safety and well-being of our students are our highest priorities. We take this matter very seriously, and I assure you this behavior will not be tolerated in our schools."
Can you pause
Police
it?
say Mullen was served.
I know Jefferson Nally said this isn't such a crazy story, but it kind of is. I mean, did you see that woman's face? These are the women that are teaching our children. Look at this crazy-eyed lady. Now she's stalking. She's a science teacher. God damn. I think about some of the loons and kooks that were my teachers back in the day, and like the fact that they trust some of these people with children. It's like, it's crazy what's going on out there in the education system. All right, go ahead. Let's watch.
Mullen was served that court order last Wednesday. On that same day, an officer says Mullen violated that court order at the community center across the street by having contact with one of the people named in the order. Mullen was taken to jail where she was held without bail. Some parents aren't satisfied with the district's response.
I don't like it. I think it's sick, and I don't feel comfortable with him even going back to school.
I'm just saying it as a mom, that it's not okay.
Tyler Sullivan is a substitute teacher in Claremont schools.
And it's important to remember that the vast majority of those of us who work in the schools are committed to the well-being and success of the students.
Can you pause it for a second? What, this guy's the substitute teacher? He's like, we make sure. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Is this guy 12?
It's pretty rural New Hampshire.
This guy's a child. He's like, well, I just want everyone to think, we're taking all the proper measures. What the fuck, dude? I forgot how hot the reporter is because the story's so wild.
The reporter is hot, but she seems to be fine at her job. She doesn't seem to hate it.
No, I get what Jefferson Nally's saying. But I get why he says that, but I do not interpret it as hating the job either. I interpret her as just all business, on to the next one. she kind of like, she probably is actually a very cold woman, which is the thing that tickles my fancy.
She wants to be on the desk. She's like, I'm hot enough to be on the desk. What's going on?
No, I don't even think it's an ambition coldness. It's just like, this is how she is. Like, everything is very cut and dry with this lady. Go back a little bit. Let's look at her before we get to the child substitute teacher. Yeah, no, I'd have to see more of her work here. She's out in the winter. I mean, the fact that she has to be outside, that is another thing. This story has nothing to do with outside. You don't have to be in the cold. Just go inside and do the fucking thing. Go ahead.
With one of the people named in the order. Mullen was taken to jail where she was held without bail. Some parents aren't satisfied with the district's response.
I don't like it. I think it's sick, and I don't feel comfortable with him even going back to school.
I'm just saying it as a mom, that it's not okay.
Tyler Sullivan is a substitute teacher in Claremont schools.
I'm sorry, I want to listen to that guy, but that woman just be like, I'm just saying as a mom, it's not okay. Oh, when is it okay then? If you weren't a mom, you're like, then it'd be chill. I wouldn't mind then at that point. I mean, that's just such a funny thing to like, and then to put that in there, it's a filler for 2 seconds. All right,
it's important to remember that the vast majority of those of us who work in the schools are committed to the well-being and success of the students.
The superintendent says a thorough investigation is underway and that he will be submitting Mullen's name to the state to have her New Hampshire teaching license revoked. In Claremont, Isabel Laturce, WMUR News 9.
We'll keep our eye out on Isabel Laturce, that guy with the well-being and success. I want everyone to be successful. Fucking hell, dude. Oh boy, folks. Your education system at work. No wonder people are homeschooling. Thank you to all the Roach reporters who sent in articles. JoshPotterShow@gmail.com. Next week, we have a very wonderful guest. Ian Fidance is going to be here on the program, and I'm excited for it. Cannot wait. Other than that, make sure you go to JoshPotter.com. Buy up the tickets. Going to be in San Diego next month, March 27th. It'll be here before you know it. That's a Thursday night. Come on out. Rage Party. American Comedy Company. San Diego, March 27th. Also, we do have the Janesville, Wisconsin tickets on sale, even though it's in fucking August. But we'll get plenty more up there. Don't you worry. Just wanted to let you know about that it is on sale. If I sell out all the tickets before the summertime, that'd be crazy. Anyhow, thank you for being here. Rate, review, subscribe, all that horse shit. And we'll be back next week with Ian Fidance on the Josh Potter Show.
Coming to 11 direct with the Roach. We shotgun the beers, I got time for a toast. It's the only place to get my sports like for real, son. He taught us nobody's more sus than Russell Wilson. Here's the deal, son. Won't find us in Walmart. Josh Potter, keep it frank, kinda like a ballpark. It wasn't nothing talking all that jism. Turns out there's a lot of semen terrorism. Now it's time we hit them. Bringing Votto to the plate. Roachy, your awards with Chase O'Donnell the Great. Let me stop for a second, cause it's Ask Marty time. Cause it's idiocy, you know I cannot abide. Not a fan of these guys, gonna damage the rise. Worse than the host known as the Roach. Leave an idiot woman standing on the side or looking like she just tripped into a moat. I'ma kill this Henny beat like murder. Been in more studios than most have ever heard of. Pleased to be listening, hit that like and subscribe. So many Bills hats got the mafia vibe. A lot to describe like a Roach reporter. Teacher on OF, don't report her. Trying to live life with my mannequin wife and my mannequin kids if that's my mannequin right. Been a fan of this guy since the Roach Motel. Couple 100 weeks in, still funny as hell. From the tit cups to back sis and blind eyes, Potter has one of the best shows of all time. Now watch this drive. Pop a couple tall cans with the Roach King and caught the vibe. Ready to pour more, scurry out the floorboards, hit like, comment, and subscribe.